people of the world, how do you do and how do you be?
Hey everybody, what's up? Happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays.
Happy everything. So this week is episode 48.
Mm-hmm.
It's covering the week of December 15th to 19th.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I'm going to jump in with a recap. Toot sweet.
Yes.
All right then. On Monday, Valentine offers reassurance. I suspect it was to Carly. I should make my notes earlier in the week because by the time we get to Friday, I don't remember who was saying what to who. Brennan and Jocelyn put their heads together over how they're going to figure out this whole cold fusion and who knows what and who's got what. Dante opens up to Nathan about his issues with Rocco. Nathan says, there. It'll be fine. It was just short of him offering a hot beverage. Sunny and Rick meet with Justine over Rocco's case. Why are you giving me that look?
Well, I was going to say, a hot beverage in a house that's not his.
No, this was at the police station or something, was it not? Anyway, okay, fine. Sunny and Rick meet with Justine over Rocco's case. And, they still can't find Dalton. Fortunately, that resolved fairly reasonably. Fortunately. And Emma seeks advice from Felicia. On Tuesday, Michael has a testy encounter with Drew and Willow at the Metro Court, which is pretty funny. Joss got on her high horse. I was not amused, Joss. I wasn't. Nina calls in a favor from Brennan. She wants him to destroy the video of Willow on the road to Drew's house.
We will get into that.
Rocco issues an ultimatum to Dante. Fix things with my brother or leave me alone. I don't want to chat to you no more.
Fair enough.
Charlotte makes a confession to Danny. Basically, if my father showed up today, I'm not sure that I would stay. An eavesdropper, which we assume is going to be Martin because we didn't actually see the person, hits pay dirt. And that's based on Drew's instruction last week when Martin was at the house. So no, was that last week? This week?
No, that was this week.
Well, yeah, because Tracy's back.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Tracy came back. Michael had the encounter, went back to the house, found Tracy, and they started gabbing. And then Tracy
was like, "Where's my stuff?"
Right, but
yeah.
Tracy had confronted Martin before that, and then Michael came home. Yada. Yeah. But we never actually heard Drew say, "I need you to eavesdrop and see if there's anything."
What Drew said was, "Since you're over at the Quartermains, I need you to do something for me."
We just assumed that he was eavesdropping.
We are assuming that the person overhearing is Martin, but that person, whoever it is, hits pay dirt and overhears Tracy saying that she won't tell anyone that Michael Corinthos III was at Drew's place on the night of the shooting. On Wednesday, Carly and Nina have a frosty run-in at the courthouse. They exchange jabs. Fortunately or unfortunately, it did not come to actual blows. Why are you looking at me like that again?
Stop writing FC3 up in this thing.
Isaiah makes Portia a tempting offer. Come stay at my cabin and recoup. Let me take care of you. Lulu unleashes her anger when she sees that Britt is still texting Rocco. I was like, well, okay, but if you could see that, you could see Rocco texted her first, so what's your problem?
Right. Also, for me, and I know this is before the recap's over, but I'm like, okay, he's texting her, you can clearly see it. Mm-hmm. There's no malicious intent.
Right, but we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. And so, Lulu tells Britt she going to block her, and then Brooke is disappointed when she discovers that she's actually been blocked from texting Rocco. I'm like, well, Michael defends himself. I don't remember from whom. Could be at court, but he wasn't on the stand yet.
No, he wasn't on the stand.
So I don't remember who he's defending himself from. On Thursday, Brennan confides in Carly. He's having trouble finding Valentine, and he wants Lulu to ease up and let him see Charlotte.
Maybe he was defending himself to Tracy, because he did have a conversation the next morning as well.
Yeah,
so maybe it was that. Cause...
Maybe. Nathan backs up Lulu when Brennan shows up at her house demanding to see Charlotte.
So entitled.
And Nathan is basically like, you don't have to answer anything, and he don't have a right to be here. You could ask him to leave, which Lulu does. Jason seeks out Jocelyn to get more information on what the WSB has on the 5 puppies. And Nina is in the hot seat.
Oh, and one quick thing that we forgot to mention on Monday, very quickly.
I didn't forget to mention, I took this straight from what they had on
I know,
ABC.
But I just realized that we forgot this, is Sidwell has a conversation with Laura and Kevin interjects himself.
Yeah, we can put that in the regular notes because it was Monday and then it never came back for the week. But yes, let me scratch that on my pad.
It was just that one thing in case there was something about that we wanted to talk about. But
yes, there is.
See? It's a good thing I mentioned it because I would have forgotten.
Yep. And Friday, Chase makes a pair of arrests.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That was just hilarious.
We will talk about that. Valentine and Carly debate. He's questioning her commitment to the plot,
To the cause.
and okay, we'll come back to that. But he says some things to her that I'm not sure about.
He does say some things to her that have me like, get back to the damn courthouse.
Jason issues a warning to Joss.
Mm-hmm.
Joss makes a resolution to help Jason,
Mm-hmm.
and Isaiah supports Portia. Whatever. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about the stuff that really was interesting but doesn't matter a lot. I'm gonna go right into it with my comedy moment of the week and the Kesa Kaka or the Delulu, which ties into what we were just saying about Chase making a pair of arrests.
Right.
So back in town this week is Bradley Cooper, one of my favorite smarmy characters.
It took him a while to get back because we're like, Britt's been here from time. How you not back yet?
Right?
Then come to find out, he's like, I couldn't pay my phone bill because my hot model boyfriend Gunther spent all my monies, so I couldn't pay my bills.
Right. So they have paired up. They are back together. They go out for dinner at Cafe Cherie. They order everything on the menu.
Top bottle of champagne, caviar, lobster, dessert, and whatever else. And then the bill comes to them. It's over $2,000.
Yep.
I'm like, what the hell did y'all eat?
And it's like they're sitting there, they're just jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber.
Britt
And then
fills
it's
him in
like,
on everything.
Woo! But then, Brad's like, okay, should we get out of here? And Britt's like, yep. And she kind of eases the check over to Brad. And Brad's like, hey, what you doing? Slide that back your side. And she's like, what do you mean? You're paying for this? He's like, I thought you were paying.
He's like, you're the one rolling in the dough. I lost all my money because of my hot model boyfriend Gunther. She's like, well, I can't pay for it. I work in the ER as a clerk. I don't make that obstetrics money.
So ultimately, they decide, after trying to come up with whatever 2 pennies they have to make all of $63, it's like, okay, so Britt decides they're gonna dine and dash,
which would have worked, save for the fact that Brad kind of like, what the? And then when he did come to his senses, left one of his cards upon the table.
Left his credit card on the table. So they go back to the diner. They're like catching up. They're laughing. They're giggling. They're cussing each other out a little bit. But they're drunk.
And then all we hear
then there's a knock on the door.
Knock, knock, knock. Opens the door and there's Chase. It's like, Chase, what are you doing here?
And again, a polite knock on the door.
Right.
I'm like Nathan, who just terrorized everybody in the house.
Again, I get it. Police. But come on, man.
Right? If anybody had a right to bash on a door, it was Chase in this circumstance.
In this circumstance, I'm just like, also, why'd you send a detective
who had been at the courthouse for the murder, the attempted murder,
right,
the shenanigans,
for a dine and dash?
I mean, really, the cop at the desk couldn't go and do this.
This is what I'm saying. You had a regular uniformed police officer, and then you had Chase. You couldn't send another uniformed officer and then leave Chase at the courthouse with his wife. Anyways.
So, but that was funny. Brad is back. I am happy.
Yes.
Let the comedy and the sass begin.
Yes. So the Lulu of that moment was them thinking the other was going to pay, and it's like,
yes,
my guy, my girl.
Hey. Okay. Now, what had me particularly hot this week was freaking Dante again.
This man just likes either being villain or just having people hot.
Okay, so one of the things was Rocco had to go back to court to for his hearing. Dante shows up, talking about he's gonna drive him. Rocco's like, I ain't going nowhere with you. So that started a little bit of a thing. And then Lulu said, let's keep the peace. I will take him. You stay here with Charlotte. Fine. Off they go. They come back. Like I said, Rocco got he got the best scenario possible. He got community service. Cool, fine. So he gets back home. They're sharing the news with Dante and Charlotte. Charlotte gives him a big hug. Congratulations. Dante gives him a hug, and Rocco stonewalls him.
He's stiff as a board.
What? Arms pinned at his side, and Dante's like, what?
You ask what like you don't know.
Like, well, exactly. How are you, again, so clueless? And Rocco lays it out. If you can't be good to my brother, don't bother trying to be good to me. Just leave me be.
I do appreciate that Rocco's loyalties are for his brother.
Right? I mean, and Lulu has told Dante any number of times in any number of ways Dante don't want to hear
No.
or don't want to change. He seems to hear, he just don't want to change. On the other side of town, Emma's talking to Gio, and she's like, listen, I think you should try to make amends with your dad, if for no other reason, for your relationship with your brother.
And she gets this idea after talking with Felicia, because Felicia was basically helped, or was trying to figure out how Cody and Mac could have a relationship after finding out that they're father and son. And she's like, well, what really did it was James, so that was basically the common denominator. Mm-hmm. So Emma's like, well, the common denominator in this situation is Rocco, so...
Right. So Gio heard her. Gio's like, you know what? Makes good sense. So he actually goes over to Dante's office to try to find a way to coexist.
I do find it interesting how the officer comes in and he's like, yes, what's up? He's like, your son is here to see you. Dante immediately thinking, oh, Rocco's here?
Yeah, right.
And then in walks Gio. He's like, oh.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, fine. So, like I said, Gio's like, we got to find a way to coexist. Dante's like, you know what? You're right. Gives Gio a little bit of kudos for having made the first move. And then in the next breath is dictating terms. Yes, we can coexist, but it's going to be supervised visitation.
I mean, I can kind of get it because I'm like, you are the parent. But this is not like Rocco and Britt. This is Rocco and his brother.
Right? It's like, well, every time Rocco gets with you, he gets into trouble. No. One time, Rocco got into trouble by a decision that Rocco made on his own with no input from anybody else.
Right. And Gio acknowledges, I shouldn't have gotten him involved because getting him involved led to this.
Yes.
However,
yep,
it was never my intention for them to go do that.
But you know what? Best of intentions.
Right?
Like, that part I get. So anyway, so Gio's kind of like, really? We're doing that? But again, Gio loves his brother, wants to have a relationship with his brother, gets on very well with his brother. So he's like, you could tell he don't want to suck it up.
Like, I don't like it. Right. But I'll deal with it.
But the one thing I will, despite being really livid with Dante, the one thing I will give him props for is he said, what this looks like for me is basically supervised visitation. He didn't use it in that words. But
and then he asked him,
and then he said, what does it look like for you? So it was a little bit of openness to have maybe a discussion back and forth and see where they land. So I it was a little too bad that Gio did not come back with a counter offer. I mean, he basically said, I really don't like that. But okay, and then the first thing that Dante proposed was, let's all get together at Lulu's and trim the tree. And it's like, okay, you know what? As far as supervised whatever goes, that's not bad. That's just like a family thing. Everybody's together, good nature.
Right.
So they're going to do that. Lulu's on board. So, yeah. What had you hot?
What had me hot this week was that I so ready for the drama of this trial to continue. The opening scene is Nathan at Lulu's house again, and I'm like, why is this man at her house? Stop putting them in this position where it's going to look like where Lulu is going to end up catching feelings for Nathan because Nathan has been so supportive involving her and Charlotte and Rocco and this entire thing and whatever else. Nathan possibly catching feelings for Lulu, and I'm like, the man is in love with his wife who is off in Boston in a freaking coma.
And really, as far as I'm concerned, Nathan is too good for Lulu. Literally, he is a good person. Although we don't know, as Brennan pointed out, 7 years memory loss.
I don't care.
Don't know what happened there, but so far Nathan is coming across as the same good person that he was before.
Right? And also again, we don't really have any news of when Kirsten is coming back.
Exactly.
Which is really upsetting, but she had said before she left the show because she had finished her recordings that she'd be back possibly in the new year, or I say possibly, likely in the new year.
Yep.
It all just depends on, her surgeries and her healing process and all of that.
Yep.
So I'm really hoping that she comes back by February sweeps. I really hope she does. But I'm like, that's a month away. I'm just like, keep this man away from this woman. I get they're friends. His wife is her best friend, but even still, it's like, back the fudge up, Lulu. Back up.
It's like, if you want to pair Nathan with somebody, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Don't pair him with Lulu. This is such a bad combination.
I'm like, also you're
honestly,
it is, and I'm also like, so you're gonna have him paired with his best friend's ex-wife.
Well, yes, those make the best triangles. But can we not pair him with Liz?
No.
Wow, that was such a violent reaction, and your lip trembling.
No. I don't know who, but not her.
What's your version to Liz?
I have no aversion to Liz. I'm just like Lucky.
Well, Lucky ain't here.
I know, so, but I'm like, I'm trying to think.
Because who else is left? Amy?
Who?
Amy.
No, because she already had Nathan be the face of her
yes,
guy,
exactly.
So no.
That's what I was gonna say. So that's not gonna work. So no, Amy's out. So who? That's what I'm saying. Who's left?
I'm like, obviously not Portia, and I wouldn't even with
Kristina, Molly.
No, because Molly got Cody.
Yeah, right. I know. That's what I want. But if you want to set up a love triangle,
I'm like, hell, if Michael wasn't with Jacinda, I'd be okay with him being with Jacinda.
Yeah,
but that's the best I can do right now. He's obviously not going to be with Willow. That's his niece, and that's like
no, exactly.
He could go with Ava, but
no,
she's too
wrong
good for her.
age group.
No,
wrong age group.
No, I get that, but also too good for him. Sorry, too good for her.
This is what I'm saying. So looking at the
if Sam was alive, he could go with Sam,
but she ain't. This is it. So Jacinda, I hear you, but because she's not really a main character, like she, well, maybe she's getting to be more.
Also, it's also entirely possible
character.
That Kristina still got feelings for Blaze. Blaze just off in the distance somewhere.
Yes, absolutely. But this is what I'm saying. Out of those who are on the canvas, who is left for him to date?
I don't care who, just not Lulu. I say I don't care who, but it's like out of the possible choices, just not Lulu. Hell, he could be with Deanna.
I was just gonna say that the only other person I can think of is Deanna.
Deanna would be good for him.
ADA Turner.
No.
Right. So this is where we're at.
I'm like, the end all be all. Deanna, best choice, only choice, no one else.
And I guess that works because I don't think that Nathan is quite yet a main character.
No.
It doesn't even have to be somebody we see on the regular, because back in the day we had Diane Miller dating Max. She was dating Max.
And Max isn't here.
No, Max is not here.
But either way, if it can't be Maxie, which as sad as it seems like it's gonna be, like I said, Deanna, or you bring in somebody new.
Yeah. Well,
hell, I'll volunteer as tribute.
Okay, but since you're not on the canvas either, for me, I agree. Deanna, sure, but after that, next best choice is Molly. Let's have
that is true.
Let's have that love triangle rather than Maxie and Lulu.
Yeah, that I'm right,
because Maxie and Lulu already had to go around with the surrogate mother.
Right. This is what I'm like.
So
no.
I don't want to see that. I don't.
So that's what had me hot.
Let's talk about who called for that. What'd you do that for? For me, this was the most implausible storyline this week. Was Rocco's tablet going off and Lulu picking up the tablet and seeing the message from Britt. I don't know any teenager who leaves their device unlocked. And it comes
that, or she just knows the password, but we all know it was just unlocked. But
yeah, she just flipped the lid off and there it was. That I don't buy it for a second. And then on top of that, it's gonna come up on the message. She sent the message like the day before, so it's gonna come up on the message screen wide open. So, no.
Well, he might have sent the message the day before, but
didn't do anything else on his tablet. Because it's not when it played.
The thing also too is, it's it's like I the best way I can associate it with is iMessage, because
he has the message on both his phone and
right, because he sent the message through phone, so it's connected by both.
Sure,
so he's using both accounts on his tablet and phone.
That's fine,
which is how she saw it, because there's no way. The only way she could have seen that text, if it wasn't connected, if the accounts weren't connected, would be it'd have to be through his phone.
Yes. So even further to my point, but there's no way he left that device unlocked, and there's no way it came automatically on the messages.
Right, and the thing is also, it's like, you block her number, but again, you're blocking it by the tablet. He's going, Rocco could easily just show up at the hospital and be like, hey,
Yes.
Like, he might make the wrong assumption, but there's nothing stopping him from showing up at the hospital, or, you know, there are ways, like, there are ways.
Oh, absolutely. She hasn't done anything. I mean, it was just there for a plot point, and I did not buy it. I thought it was a very implausible plot point.
I do too.
So writers, do better, because y'all have been doing some very good stuff.
Because also, you don't think that your son's going to notice that the number's blocked? Because they're, like, he's going to notice.
Sure. Absolutely. So that was my... What'd you do that for? Who called for that? That it just didn't make sense. It made sense. It was a stretch. Let's say that. Anything for you on who called for that?
I mean, who told Kevin to show up at the Butcher Court Gardens to infiltrate a meeting?
Okay, so I have a theory on this. This is my prediction. So as we know, Kevin is doing double duty on General Hospital and Beyond the Gates.
Where he's more of a main character on Beyond the Gates,
right?
Secondary,
and that story is ramping up over there,
right?
And I believe they're filmed in 2 different locations. I think Beyond the Gates is filmed in Atlanta, whereas General Hospital is filmed in LA. So the back and forth. So I think they're gonna kill Kevin off. I do.
The gasp.
Well, I don't know why you gasped, because Sidwell made it very clear. He's like, I need Laura. I need Sunny.
Need you.
I don't need you.
But you can't kill Kevin Collins.
Okay, put him in a coma or something. Watch and see.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Just put him in a temporary state that he
kidnapped. Whatever. He's gonna be.
Yeah. Just don't kill Kevin. Dear God.
He can find himself in the cell next
to
Anna.
He's the only therapist we got.
Find himself in a cell next to Anna.
Because seriously, just like how apparently we only have one OBGYN.
No, we don't. We have 2.
She's not a doctor yet.
Okay.
So just like how we only have one OBGYN, we only have like two to 3 nurses, one ER doctor, 1 trauma surgeon, and 2 co-chiefs of staff. So this hospital is very short staffed as far as I'm aware. Oh, I rephrase that. 4 nurses, but 3 because the other one's on trial for attempted murder. Like, we can't lose a therapist. He's the only therapist we got.
Now, you know they have other doctors because you hear them calling for them over the loudspeaker.
Do we ever see them?
We don't see them, but they call for them over the loudspeaker. It's those throwaway lines that make it believable.
No.
You know, unlike the day we saw that one guy walking, he kept circling the elevator. It's like, sir, what are you doing? Okay. Oh my goodness, that makes me laugh. But yes, I think Kevin is not long for the GH world. So there's that. Okay, so in the do we want to go into the trial, or we want to skip over it?
Skip over for now, because
all right,
so much to go into.
Let's talk about sassy. Okay. Make it sassy. 2 scenes this week that I appreciated.
Okay.
So one was just after Brennan left Valentine's house. He acted like a house.
Carly.
Just after Brennan left Carly's house, Valentine pops up and is, making conversation, or comes to bring back his coffee cup or whatever it was he did. And Carly's like, I don't appreciate you spying on me, because he mentions that he saw Brennan leave. Mm-hmm. And in response, Valentine says, well, if you won't give me the password to your Hulu account, like, what else am I going to do? I'm going to watch out the window. I'm like, come on. And I like the sass, but I also liked the cross promotion, because as we know, General Hospital is available on Hulu.
Right.
So nicely done. Nicely done, ABC. My second sassy is when Brennan then bulldozes his way into Lulu's house.
Basically.
I'm not even sure when he had time to put down his coat, because
again,
that was just some bad continuity.
Again.
But anyways, Brennan's giving her a hard time and talking about how he needs to talk to Charlotte, and she's like, listen, you need to figure out your own self how you find Valentine. Leave my daughter out of it. And Brennan says to her that she doesn't know Valentine as well as she thinks. At which point Nathan looks Brennan dead in his eye and says, well, neither do you, otherwise you would have apprehended him already. And I'm paraphrasing. And it was just like, basically what he said. It was like, come on, Nathan. Because Nathan doesn't tend to be snippy or sassy that way.
But when he is.
Hey. So I appreciated that. It was very nice. Very nice. Oh, something else I want to talk about, but I don't really know where to put it. But we were just talking about with Kevin, and I should have segued then, is Anna So we got a peek at Anna this week, and there was a moment, as you know, baby Sass and I speak French. And so I was very impressed when, Pascal comes in and he's like, Madame Devane, retournez-vous vers le mur. Basically, turn to the wall, put your hands above your head where I can see them. And Anna comes back with, pourquoi vous écouterais-je? And I was like, stop everything. What? What is going on? We have elevated the French on this show all of a sudden. Because pourquoi vous écouterais-je, the form of the verb, is very, very posh. I said, okay, Miss Devane, Finola Hughes, come with it. Probably coached by Michel Forget, the actor who plays Pascal. I don't know, but I was stunned.
She was. And then Anna opened her mouth later and she lost it.
And then, when she was like trying to be all argumentative and stuff, I think she forgot her lines and stumbled or something. But
which would make sense, especially because if you're not speaking,
it's not your first language and you don't necessarily know it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If it's not your first language, you don't necessarily know it, or you don't use it often, especially on set. It's not gonna.
Absolutely. So that part, I was, okay, it's like, okay, this is perfect, of course. But that first line, I was like, okay, she came with some Shakespearean French. She came with the these and the thous and whosoever with and where the for and woo. So, yeah, I give you some kudos there, writers. Pascal, Finola Hughes, nicely executed. That was good. Okay, let's talk about the trial. It's finally started.
For real.
She's finally on the stand.
Oh my God. Well,
in court.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know what stand she's sitting on. First things first, I'm going to get to this, and this is something else that had me hot. Nina is an idiot.
Huh.
How? Okay, already her brother said, take back your alibi because it's doing more harm than good, and if you don't, it's going to result in you either going to jail or so much more. There's going to be so much more worse, so take it back. So she did. She's like, I'm just trying to help. So why did she think it would help by asking Brennan to delete the video footage of her driving near Drew's house? Because if they find out that Brennan was responsible and that Nina was the reason for doing that, like, you literally did more harm than good in helping your daughter in this case by getting rid of evidence. And then what also pisses me off is that Carly is talking to Valentine about how, like how she got involved with Jack in the first place, and then Jack getting rid of the video evidence of her racketeering. And I'm like, she's not at the courthouse. If she had, for me, it's like, okay, if she stayed at the courthouse, because she was there initially, if she stayed at the courthouse, found out the evidence had gone missing, and then kind of went back to her house and talked with Valentine, she could put two and two together and be like, oh crap.
I think she still has that opportunity, because I'm sure she'll speak to Michael afterwards.
I hope so.
To find out how it went.
I hope so, because that is like, oh, and then hopefully go to Brennan and be like, why the hell did you get rid of video evidence that could possibly get this woman sent to jail? And if he's like, well, or doesn't actually tell her the truth that it was Nina, but I feel like she could easily put that together with Nina being sus in the hallway, being like, get it done, then finding out finding out the video footage is missing, and then finding out Brennan did it. I'm like, she could easily put that two and two together. 100%. But even still, I'm just like, Nina, you idiot, you're not helping.
Nope.
You're basically not trusting Alexis to do her job. You're not, like, you're just like, I need to protect my daughter at any costs. Okay, Willow, I'm going to get rid of video evidence that might actually, make it worse.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You didn't think to run this by Willow? Yes, Willow would have said, don't you dare do it, but...
Well, no, she didn't want to run it, or she did not think to run it by her ahead of time. But I do think she was going to tell her before the trial started. But Willow and Drew showed up, like,
and then Alexis was like... Right, and then Alexis was like, get in. But
exactly.
Still.
Yep. So, we have... Tracy took the stand first.
Yep. Which, again, sass. Was like, why were you going over to Drew's house? Because I was going to give him a piece of my mind. Yes, that is why I drove through a freaking torrential rainstorm. To give him a piece of my mind.
These people took the stand. Tracy, Nina, Kristina, Dante, Brooklyn, Elizabeth, and Drew. Now, when Drew took the stand, Drew was adamant and telling Alexis that she blew it. She did not present a proper defense. Never mind that the defense has not presented yet. And so when he got put on the stand, he was going to conveniently remember that Michael shot him. And Alexis was like, have you lost your mind? Nina has already been caught in a lie. Willow has been caught in a lie. You think that Turner is going to believe that you suddenly remember it's Michael? And I was surprised, frankly, that Turner did not overhear this conversation. Although, when she was questioning him, the way she set him up, I was like, well, maybe she did. Because she walked him through what he did and what he remembered. And she was like, and that's all you remember? Giving him that perfect opportunity to say.
And he even looked at his wife. He looked at... Oh my goodness, what's the word? He looked at his wife. He looked at Alexis. And Alexis is giving him a look of, you better keep your damn mouth shut. But if you don't, do it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Do it.
See, I wish he had gone the other way, because Alexis had said she was not going to suborn perjury. And I think she would have sandbagged him if he had. I think she would have totally sandbagged him.
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
And it's funny because she would have been like, objection. And he's like, why are you objecting? He's like, because the witness is perjuring himself.
Yeah, it's like, we know that to not be true, Your Honor. We're not here. We're not having it.
No. And I will not be party to this.
Although, to be fair, that probably wouldn't have helped Willow's case
either. It wouldn't have.
Maybe she wouldn't do that.
It wouldn't have helped. But as she said, I'm not losing my license again for you.
Nope. Absolutely. Now, one of the things that was particularly interesting in the case was that Turner, when she had Kristina on the stand, she specifically asked Kristina about Dawn of Day, which I did not see coming. I was very surprised.
Yeah, but I was happy because I've been saying someone called Dawn of Day, but I was mostly saying that for the custody hearing, which they kind of did a little bit, but not much. So I'm glad they called that out. But yeah. I'm still sad that they're like, Turner is like, after you got out, did you seek therapy for the trauma that you endured? Do you believe that that Willow might have, if in your knowledge, again, posing it as an opinion based question, not a question of fact, since Kristina can't know for sure because she's not a doctor, nor is she,
Exactly.
But even still.
So what I liked about it is she established through that line of questioning that Willow has knowledge of weapons, which I thought was very, very interesting. So kudos to whoever in the writer's room put those pieces together. Because that was very valid, very telling, and makes her case more compelling.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah. There was also one of the witnesses said something, and it caused... Oh, no, because it was Turner asking Tracy about the softball bat because she's like, did you move it? It's like, no, I stepped over it. I didn't touch it or move it. And then the camera pans to Kai and Trina, and they're just looking at you like,
Yep.
I was like, do we care? No.
No, but it may come back up. It may. And perhaps Alexis is taking note of these things, because if they go back and check the bat, which is not clear that they did, because
they said they were pulling prints, but they never said...
Oh, okay, but Drew wasn't bludgeoned.
No, so. but it's like, why was it there? But yeah, they did say they were taking it to pull off prints, but we never actually got any confirmation that the prints were inconclusive or not in the system or whatever.
Right. But in any case, as you pointed out, Nina asked Brennan to erase the video, which Turner finds out while she's in the middle of the case, and then she's livid. And so she tries to get the stills of the video admitted, which the judge is not going for. It's like, hey, let's bring in the original video. Now,
which I hope, even though, because they're like, the chain of custody is broken, I'm like, would you still be able to admit the video if you get it back?
I don't know. But to your point about chain of evidence, this is the question I had, is how does Turner not have a copy of the video? Because she sent it to Alexis by email.
Unless, like you said, it was a link.
Did she only send the link of the video? And even if she had the full video in her email that she forwarded to Alexis, would it still be inadmissible because it's not, like, while it's the original video, but it's a copy of the original, as opposed to you linking to the traffic feed or however they do it. So is that, again, breaking the chain of evidence? I don't know how that would work. For
me, it's interesting because based off my experience when I was sitting on a jury, it's like the evidence had already been admitted. It wasn't like they're like, oh, Your Honor, we'd like to admit evidence 3.8 or whatever. It was like it's already been admitted to the court, so it's just like, okay, we're
referred to.
Yes, basically, exactly. So for me, it's like, how is it? Because obviously each party must have a copy of the evidence or the witness list or whatever, and then they give it to the judge. So for me, it's just like, how was this not admitted to the judge? Because you would think, send all this in so the judge has it, and then just over the court proceedings, it's more for the jury, so it's more of show, not necessarily that it's admitted because it's already been. So that for me, that's what that is.
Yeah. So you know what you say makes absolute sense. Therefore, is this just creative license?
Which I guess
and
would make sense.
Not true to life, right?
Yeah, which I guess would make sense.
It would.
My other thing though is like, because Dante's the first one to find out that the evidence is missing because he kind of skirts out the courtroom, and then tells Turner's like, what the hell, figured it out, and he's like, yeah, we're on it. Then later tells Chase, it's like, the evidence is missing, and he's like, I hope you don't think that I'm the one who did it.
And Dante was surprising.
Dante's like, good to know, or I'll keep that in mind. And I'm just like, yeah, that's the thing to say. I mean, like, yes, I get it with you, looking into Willow's case to help her get exonerated. It could be, like, Chase trying to actually help by doing that. But I'm like, I think that's the one line
Dante doesn't know. No,
but I think that's the one line Chase wouldn't cross, because
I agree.
He loves his job, and already he knows, like, not being a cop when he wasn't a cop was, like, it almost killed him, just like it almost killed Alexis. So, I don't think he would risk it. But for me, like, Dante's saying, oh, we've got the entire tech team looking into it. I'm just like, call freaking Spinelli. What the hell is your tech team gonna do?
Spinelli does not work for the police department.
So?
And Spinelli and Dante aren't friends.
So?
What we call
you know a tech genius. If you can't figure it out, get a tech genius.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
If like honestly, for me, if I was in his shoes, if I'm like, this thing just magically up and disappeared, and we don't know how that happened. Yeah, my first call is to Spinelli. I'm like, hey, I've got my tech team on it, but I need an extra set of hands. Do you think you can look into it and figure out what happened to this thing? Like, because literally, videos just don't up and disappear, and they don't just up and disappear, leaving no trace. If you delete something, there's a trail. You can't just delete something off the internet and think it's gone forever. There's a trail. So, yeah, you might have a bunch of hackers and whatever on your team, but they ain't got the skill Spinelli does. Call Spinelli.
That was a very impassioned plea for Spinelli, who I enjoy, so I'll be happy to see him.
Also, I know he's dealing with the stuff with Maxie, but call Spinelli!
Okay.
Hell, even Matt can call Spinelli!
Yeah, Matt could. But anyhow, they didn't, so we'll see. That, I believe, brings us to Hero of the Week.
No, I don't have one. But I'll just give it to Gio for bringing the vegetables and be like, I'm gonna go. Okay. This conversation, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm out. There's still groceries in the car.
Yep.
Have fun telling great grandma that grandpa had a heart attack. Bye.
My hero of the week is going to be Emma. Because Emma came with the logic and the reason, and she presented it to Gio, and he actually went to make amends with Dante, and I thought that was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Gio doesn't get his heart broken again, but I thought it was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Villain of the week.
Drew. And I say Drew because when he and Willow went to the Metro Court Gardens for dinner, and Michael and Jocelyn were sitting there having their meal, Drew was just being entitled, being like, oh, well, you see, they could have gotten up and left when we showed up, but they didn't. It's like, they were here before you, not the other way around. And then Willow sitting down, and she's very clearly uncomfortable. She's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want people looking at me. I don't feel comfortable being here. And Drew's just like, what he says, he basically says in a way of just like, suck it up, buttercup. Mm-hmm. And then proceeds to get up and go antagonize them. It's like, your wife is already uncomfortable as it is. Why would you why would you get up and go antagonize her ex-husband and his sister? And then two, why would you, still sit there and be like, ha ha ha, we are showing our faces to show we are not scared. And then come to find out that your wife tried to sneak into the house to see her children, and you're just like, huh? And then kind of talk to her like, what do you mean you went and went, like she's a child.
Man, Willow froze on the spot when Michael said, oh yeah, she was by the house yesterday.
And then she's like, I asked Brooklyn not to say anything. Who said Brooklyn said anything?
She didn't say that.
No, she said I asked him, but it's like I asked him not to say anything, and I know Brooklyn's mad at me, but I didn't think she'd go and say anything anyway.
Oh, she said that to Drew.
Yeah, she blames Brooklyn for saying something to Michael, even though Brooklyn didn't say anything to Michael. Absolutely. Michael overheard, but she doesn't know that.
No, she doesn't know that. But what I meant was when Michael said it, she just stood there rooted to the spot. She did not.
No, I know. But I think it'd be funny because I wouldn't be surprised if she's like, Brooklyn, how could you tell Michael that I was at the house? And I'd just be like, if I was Brooklyn, 1, I never promised I wouldn't say anything, and 2, he overheard me talking to Chase, so I didn't say a thing.
Absolutely. At
least not directly to him, or I didn't seek him out. The other thing was that I found really interesting, and I don't know. She definitely came back in the room after, but I did find it hilarious how, after it might have been Elizabeth's testimony, they go on recess, and then the judge comes back, and they're like, all rise, and Willow had left to go splash some water in her face, and when the judge comes back, she's not there, and I'm just like, ooh, she better make it back. Willow hadn't made it back in the room when the judge came back in.
I missed that completely.
Yeah.
Huh.
I said, how you doing all rise and the one on trial isn't even back in the room?
Oh, he said 10 minutes.
He did. Apparently she got lost along the way.
My villain of the week, shockingly, this is going to be a shock to everybody who knows me, is Jason Morgan. I could not believe that he went in there asking Joss for the WSB secrets. And talk about what he wants so he can help Britt. Britt has made it abundantly clear she does not want your help. Why are you insisting on helping her? Why do you need to know what Faison was up to? Jason, man. And she was clear. Joss was clear. If they find out I told you, high treason. And, I mean, okay, I'm not sure what happened with Valentine, but I don't think he was convicted of high treason. But somebody was talking about high treason was punishable by death. So that's the position you want to put your best friend's daughter in? Jason.
It was either like Carly or Anna.
Yeah, I feel it was Anna. I was just like, Jason, not okay. Even if you swept for bugs and all kind of foolishness, really? Really?
I wish I could defend that, but I can't defend that.
Yeah, so, again, it's a plot point. It's set up for Super Jason to fly in. I like me some Super Jason, but this was not the way. I am not happy with it.
Super Jason's not going to make a full appearance, but he's definitely going to give a partial appearance when he has to when he has to bail Britt out of jail.
Oh, that's not a Super Jason move.
That's what I said, not fully.
So, yeah. Okay, anything else you want to talk about that we missed?
I feel so, but I can't remember what it was specifically.
Okay, any predictions? We haven't done predictions in a while.
No, we have not. That, obviously, for number 1, Gannon's the father, Portia's the baby. The tape gets found, or at least Carly puts the pieces together and realizes that Jack did it, confronts him, and hopefully that tape gets put back in.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the fact that Michael's alibi is gonna fall apart. I don't know who's gonna pass along that information, but it's gonna happen. Portia's definitely gonna get called out about or thrown on the stand for being a potential suspect. It's more the question of if Felicia gave Alexis all the information, because the last we knew of, Felicia just said, yeah, Portia wasn't working when she said she was working. I just don't know where she was at the time. And that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can't really say what else is going to happen in Alexis's defense, because that's definitely going to come up next week.
The only thing I have to add to predictions, which I know you don't like, but I predict that Kevin's dead.
I still don't like that.
I know. And then the question I have is, now that the trial has started, where's Obrecht?
That is a good question. Oh, that was another thing. Because we were talking about... not necessarily drop storylines, but things that we were still curious about was Isaiah and his family, because he did bring that up a little bit.
Yes. We did have that as a drop storyline or follow-up point from back in March.
Yes, because I don't know who it was, but somebody was talking to Isaiah about his family. Oh, it might have been Brennan.
No, it was Portia.
No, not this week. Back when he was with Jordan, someone popped...
it was Brick.
Brick popped up to see Jordan,
yes.
mentioned stuff about Isaiah's family. Yes. Isaiah kind of went... you can't see me, but he had a look on his face of like, don't talk about my family.
Yeah.
And we've been like, what does your family do, Isaiah? What's up with your family?
Yep.
And that dropped off the face of the earth. We never heard anything about his family until now, where he's like, I've just been thinking about my dad and, becoming a father myself and, memories. So we're like,
exactly.
We'll see if that brings in more stuff about Isaiah and his family.
And I'm wondering, because I followed Office Ladies podcast from The Office, and the one thing that they talk about fairly regularly is how there are these cards in the writer's room with story ideas, and then they have a show Bible, which General Hospital has to have. I can't imagine that they don't.
With the amount of years they've been on air?
Right. You kind of need one to know who's married to who and who did what with who and what have you. And so I'm just wondering if they have those cards, and this is why the Isaiah thing may now be coming back.
Yeah.
Or maybe they listen to various podcasts around the way and get some kind of AI input, and it's like, this is what the casters are wanting to know.
Also,
what's up with Isaiah's family?
Where's Scotty?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just bringing that up again because it's like, where's Scotty?
Because I'm like, that's a question we're going to keep asking, but it's not a serious question because Scotty ain't coming back.
I just find it hilarious because it's just like Curtis was calling his lawyer, and it's like, who is your lawyer, Curtis? Because Alexis is defending Willow, Diane's defending Sonny and possibly
and
Michael.
Martin is Drew's lawyer, so
right, Martin's Drew's lawyer. You got Marco possibly defending Michael if Diane's not defending him. So who are you calling? Because the only other person I can think of is Scotty, and Scotty ain't here.
Yep.
Oh, and it can't be. Oh no, but you could call Rick. Because Rick isn't defending anyone.
That's
in this
true.
Case,
Could call Rick. One thing we did completely neglect to mention.
Yes.
And I'm sorry that we're doing this at the very end of the podcast.
Oh yes, I thought of that at the beginning. I was like, we're already deep. We can't bring that up yet.
But we neglected to mention that Anthony Geary, who played Luke Spencer for so many years, passed away this past week in Amsterdam after complications from a surgery. So our condolences out to his family.
Yep.
So that'll be sad. And I don't know that we'll see another memorial on General Hospital because they had killed off the character some time ago. But
right.
Yeah. So it's a very sad way to end the podcast. I'm so sorry. So I would just flip it kind of irreverently and wish you all the happiest and safest of holidays.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us throughout the year. I guess we got one more podcast to drop for 2025. Maybe two. Maybe two. There's 2 more weeks, but the last one will come out next year.
Yeah.
So, thanks for being with us, and come back next week for a little bit more soap.
And a hell of a lot of sass. And hopefully, Willow gets convicted.
I think they're going to drag that one out.
I think so too, but oh no, because she also has her custody trial coming up in January.
In the meantime.
Anyway.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.